Whenever you're ready, you can take it away.
Are your Saturdays too boring? Well, I have the solution for you. Now, many of you may think that you have nothing to do on a Saturday, but there are 3 different things that can occupy tons of your time trying to figure out how to do them correctly, different ways, and overcomplicate them. So there are 3 different trick shots that I'm going to show you today. The first is the basketball trick shot, which you can do really with anything that you can hold in your hand. Second is the hat throw. The third is the water bottle flip, probably the most famous. Now, with the basketball shot, it's the simplest shot, and there are very few steps involved. The first step is you want to set up. You want to have a goal in mind. So for me, I will be aiming for the recycling bin because we love the earth. So I want to set up and I want to throw it. That is a good way to do a basketball shot. Now, some ways to overcomplicate them would be to do it off of a backboard or angle it somehow. This is some of the ways that it's overcomplicated. Now, sometimes that can get boring because you're just throwing things and it gets too easy. So the second one, if you have the right materials, is the hat throw. Now the hat throw is kind of like a frisbee, and you want to land it on something like someone's head or a pole or anything that you can find that you can twirl it onto. So for this speech, I will be landing it on that sock puppet. Successful. Now, as you can see, I set up like a frisbee. I had my hat set up like this, and when I was ready, I twirled it, and it landed. So that one does require a lot of materials. You must have a hat and a pole that it can land on. So this one is the hardest one, but it requires the least amount of materials. And for those of you who love the earth, it uses plastic bottles. So, the bottle flip, if you were to refer to your handout there, it's a strange fad that was come up with this summer. And as you can see, it requires a center of mass, the water, and angular momentum, just enough angular momentum to land correctly. Now, I discovered the bottle flip earlier this summer when it was introduced to me by one of my good friends back in Colorado, J.T. Poff. The original bottle flipper, though, was Michael Senatori. He's a senior in high school, and for his talent show, he went up and he flipped a bottle. And the whole world fell in love, and all of a sudden, everyone started flipping bottles. So, today I'm going to show you how to flip that bottle. Now, I've found the best way to hold the water bottle when you flip it is to use your thumb, your index finger, your middle finger, and your ring finger. Hold the cap, and then just flick it slightly, and land it. Remember, practice makes perfect. So, it's pretty incredible if you can get it in your first try showing people. I was able to make it in 3, which is also pretty good. So, you want to keep in mind that there are several different ways to do this. And in order to get it correctly, you have to have the water down to about 1/4. As you can see there, I have the water down to about 1/4 of what it would be filled up. Now, if you have it any less, then you have the potential of it flipping too much, and it doesn't have enough mass to land correctly. If I have more than this, then it's going to be harder to flip, and evidently, it might not flip enough, or it will bounce sometimes. Now, I've tried several different ways of flipping bottles. One where it's filled up to the top, and when you flip it, then it'll land on its bottom, and it'll bounce. Now, this is due to the fact that this is a thin plastic and a lot of water, and water water's density is more than air, and it's not a solid object. So when it hits a solid object, it's going to bounce rather than just stay. So if you wouldn't mind now, I have a video to show you guys of bottle flip and other different things that I've done. Now, as you can see, I had several different trick shots up there. Mostly the water bottle. And after every one, I had a victory shout or dance or whatever. Now, the first one, as you can see, I did the famous dab. Now, the dab is the most famous victory dance which you can use, but I would recommend using a victory dance or a victory shout after every water bottle flip that you do, because it just makes you seem that much cooler. So as you can see, your Saturdays don't have to be boring anymore. You now have paper to throw, hats to flip, and water bottles to flip. So now your Saturdays don't have to be boring anymore. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, Alex.